Hello, I'm Terry Lynn Frazier, a mass communications major at Missouri Southern. Today on Community Highlights, we will focus on local volunteers and organizations that are dedicated to helping others. Homelessness is an epidemic that each community in America faces. There are over 600,000 homeless people in America, many that are chronically homeless due to mental illness, a history of violence in their lives, or issues with drug abuse. Joplin alone has almost 2,000 homeless community members. There are communities that handle the situation with force and offer jail terms for those who reach out to help people in need, like Arnold Abbott, a 90-year-old Florida man recently imprisoned for feeding the homeless in his community. Some communities take a far kinder approach to the problem thanks to caring community members who have resolved to make a difference. I would like to introduce you to Juliette Hardy, the founder of Guiding Light Ministries and a community member who is changing the face of homelessness in Joplin, one broken woman at a time.
Guiding Light Ministry is a recovery program for women where we help provide housing for women that have been homeless, abused, addicted, off the streets, out of prison, out of jail, whatever the case may be. We help provide housing through our thrift store, and some of the finances from there go to the housing. Through our pizza place now, we have AmeriLight Pizza, which is a byproduct of Guiding Light Ministry, and now we're trying to help provide jobs. Just provides a place for women to discover, recover, and live. I was an addict myself, and I was a junkie for 25 years. I mean, there's literally nothing that I haven't been completed, I guess, as an addict, up to and including murder. I didn't put a gun to anybody's head, but I killed my best friend in a drunk driving accident. And as I said, I was a junkie for 25 years, and because of my addiction, I lost my children. I was actually never supposed to have children. I wound up with 2 children of my own. First one when I turned 31 years old, and the second one when I turned 35. So I wound up with two children of my very own, and when they were 4 and 8, because of my addiction, they were taken by the Family Services of Jasper County. The Drug Task Force kicked in my door and took my kids, and at that time, I fell on my face before God and I said, "I'm sorry, God, I want my babies back." And surrendered my life to the Lord Jesus Christ and promised Him that I would serve Him the rest of my days. And really felt God tell me at that time that now He could use me, and He was going to use every vile thing that had ever happened in my life to touch the lives of other women, and that's what He does through Guiding Light Ministry. I got clean January 10th of 2003, and in 2006 I started at Ozark Christian College, and by 2007, I believe it was, we had opened Guiding Light Ministry through a lot of prayer, a lot of success, a lot of prayer warriors, and just a lot of people who believed in me and believed in the vision I had for helping ladies. And so out of Ozark Christian College and my pastor, Howard Nunley, and just people, as I said, who believed in me, we birthed Guiding Light Ministry in about 2006, close to 2007. I quit school in the 9th grade, got a GED in '91, never dreamed that I'd ever use it. Then when I got cleaned, I started at Ozark Christian College, where it was the longest 4.5 years of my life, but I finished there with a bachelor's in Christian ministry and psychology.
Wow.
I have one young lady in my program. She's been here for 2 years. She's now a house manager. Her name is Marilyn. And she came to us through a phone call, screaming and crying, and I thought the young lady I was talking to was the one that needed help, but it turned out it was her mother that needed help. And she was crying on the phone, and she said, my mom is high, and I don't know what to do, and nobody will take her. And I said, bring her. And they brought her to me, and she's been here for 2 years. And I can just honestly tell you that the girls in the program that succeed, we know that our worst day with Jesus Christ has been better than any day without Him.
That's beautiful.
We have, like I said, we have several girls that, I have another house manager who has been struggling since I've known her. She was one of the very first girls in the program, and just recently got it right, and graduated drug court. She graduated my program. She's now a house manager in my program. She's been there for 8 months. Another girl that Brittany, the other house manager, her name's Renee. Brittany, she came to us from Arkansas. She was an alcoholic, really bad, and she's now been clean for a year. She's a student at Ozark Christian College now. The list just goes on and on and on.
That's why you're amazing.
God is amazing. He really is. The work he's done in my life is just incomprehensible. I still can't fathom it at times. Sometimes what we think is unsuccessful, God turns around 8 years later like Renee and brings her back. We plant seed, some water, some plant, some water, God gets the increase. Our website is guidinglightjoplin.org, and my email is wordcarrier@sbcglobal.net, and then we have a pizza parlor, Amerilight Pizza, and we have takeout pizza, and that phone number is 417-208-2706.
Coming up next, Carson King talks with Jordan Murdoch about Creative Kids, a Lifehouse project.
Hello and welcome to Community Highlights. Today we're here with Jordan Murdoch. Hi Jordan.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Doing very well.
Awesome. So you are the director of Lifehouse, is that correct? Or director of Creative Kids for Lifehouse, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, and what is that program?
It's a creative arts program for kids after school in the North Joplin neighborhood. We do everything from like painting and sculpting to science projects and really just like creative problem solving, that sort of thing.
All right, and what is Lifehouse?
Lifehouse is a faith-based community center in North Joplin whose goal is to reach out to that neighborhood and just help to encourage it. And we provide a lot of after-school programming for kids, book clubs, and just like VBS sorts of things, and a lot of different events for families as well. So.
All right, that's awesome. And what exactly is your duties for Creative Kids?
Well, I run the Creative Arts program. That's what we call it, as Creative Kids. So my role is just to make sure that our volunteers have what they need and just work with the kids and make sure everything's flowing kind of smoothly. So.
How long have you been at Lifehouse?
Going on 3 years. So.
Okay, very cool. What is your favorite thing about Lifehouse?
That's the hardest question ever. Probably, well, I mean, the kids who come are incredible, and really just like getting to see their creativity come out through the projects that we do. They're so inventive, and a lot of times they don't get those opportunities to really open up and just feel confident in their creative abilities, and it's really cool to see that just blossom.
Awesome. What else would you like to share about Lifehouse?
Well, we're always looking for volunteers, so if anyone's looking for volunteer hours or anything like that, we need math tutors, and you don't have to be very creative to actually be a part of the Creative Kids program. We just need people who want to invest in kids.
Cool. Can you tell me more about the programs that people can volunteer for?
Yes, the book club is on Wednesday afternoons. Everything runs around like 3 to 5 p.m. every day. So Mondays we have the Creative Arts program. Tuesdays we have a sort of like VBS sort of thing. It's called, I actually can't remember what it's called. But that program has, like we need musicians, we need people to help organize snacks, people to just invest in the kids and work with them. And then, like I said, the book club, we need people to just help kids read or read to kids and that sort of thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me today, and I hope you have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you, Carson, for that insightful look at Lifehouse. Now we head over to the Joplin Humane Society for a look at ways to help shelter animals in need.
We have an exciting volunteer program here at the shelter. Volunteers help us with everyday aspects, everything from walking dogs, socializing cats, cleaning up around the building. We couldn't do it without them. We also need volunteers to help us with things such as dishes and laundry. Not a lot of fun, but very important. We also have volunteers who come and walk dogs at parades or other off-site community events. We do require that a volunteer goes through volunteer orientation prior to volunteering. At orientation, you get a little bit of the history of the shelter, some do's and don'ts, and you learn safety so you don't put yourself in a situation or a dog in a situation where somebody could be potentially hurt. If you'd like more information about becoming a volunteer here at the shelter, visit us at joplinhumane.org. In addition to our website, you can also keep up to date on everything that's happening here at the shelter by following us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/joplinhumane.
When she first approached us about the idea, I thought it was really unique because we know people love their pets and they love to see their pets in pictures. So this is a way that people can get something, a personal portrait of their pet, and choose to have Joplin Humane Society be the recipient of a donation. So we just thought it was really creative. They support our shelter a lot. We share their work, and they certainly share good stuff for us. Anybody that would like to learn a little bit more about Andy's paw prints, we have information right on our website. Just check out joplinhumane.org and find Andy's paw prints there. Our foster program is really designed to be a life-saving program. Our shelter, physically, the space never changes. You know, the cages, we have the same number of cages today as we will tomorrow, but the animals keep coming through the door. So the foster program allows us the foster program gives us the opportunity to save a lot more lives than we can by fitting animals into the kennels here at the shelter. We invite the community to be a partner. We have you just come in, find a pet that you'd like to foster. Some really good choices would be mother cats and kittens, mother dogs and puppies or kittens that are just too young for adoption. We get you all set up with everything you'll need to take care of them. Basically, we say you just provide the love. So you get all the fun of taking care of a pet, you know, and then they get bigger and more rambunctious and they're ready to come back and find their own family. So I always say for me, it gives me my puppy fix because I sure don't need another dog, but I always miss having a puppy around. We try to make it really user-friendly. People can walk in. We want to make sure that the foster pet's going to be a good fit for their family, safe around their pets, and then also we talk about a time frame. So some people will foster maybe for 2 weeks, some foster for 2 months. It really depends on the individual needs of the dog or cat. We have a lot of unique programs in order to promote adoptions. Not every dog will fit into every program, but we want to make every dog fit into a home, of course. So our vintage dog program is geared toward dogs that have been here longer than 30 days. Nothing's wrong with the dogs. There's no behavior program. They've just been overlooked for one reason or another. So we've called these dogs our vintage dogs, and what those are fee waived to approved homes. We do still check vet references, and you do still have to fill out an application, but this program lets some of the dogs that need it the most sort of be spotlighted, and we're encouraging their adoptions, I think, first more than any other pet. The star dog, a little bit different. Star dogs are dogs that somebody can choose to make a star dog. So often people will find a dog and they'll bring it to the shelter. They can't keep it, but they want to help find the dog a home. Star dogs are a great option because essentially you can donate money that will pay completely for the adoption of the dog, all the vetting, even a heartworm test, collar and leash. It's a ready-made package. And then that dog is featured on our Facebook page as a star dog. Just kind of draws some more attention, and we're sure that the person that's getting the star dog, that dog is absolutely ready to go. Everything is done. Hero Pets are pets. We came up with that program because we recognize that some dogs or cats, it could be a cat too, highly desirable. Everybody wants this Himalayan kitten or they want the Bichon puppy. Not everybody wants the older lab or just the plain black cat. So how do we help offset the cost of caring for the dogs that don't get chosen as quickly? Hero dogs seem like the perfect option. So hero dogs are a little bit more expensive to adopt, but the money that we get from the hero pet adoptions will go to help defray the cost of caring for the animals that don't get chosen quite so quickly. It's been a huge success. We always, of course, being a shelter, we're always in need of some things. We have needs every day, bleach, laundry detergent, dish soap, collars, leashes. It's never ending really, because we constantly have animals coming through the building. We go through a tremendous amount of supplies. It actually costs us over $2,500 a day just to keep the doors open. So anything that people can donate, no matter how small, we'll have children gather towels to bring in. We have people knit things for cat beds for our cats. So any little thing is huge, and we want to make it really easy for people to find out what we need. So if they just go to joplinhumane.org, they'll see a link and they can see what our wish list is, and you can purchase supplies and drop them off here. There's also some instructions. We have an Amazon wish list as well. You can sit right in your home, make a few clicks, and have items sent right to us. So we make it easy to give. Kennel sponsorships kind of became really important when we recognized that the money that we get from adoptions does not even come anywhere close to what it really costs us to operate this shelter. People definitely want to help, but they don't always know how. Maybe it's a bag of dog food or a collar or a leash, but for some people it's a lot bigger. They want to really play a part in the actual, I did something to help a dog or a cat. So we have available kennel sponsorships where you can sponsor a kennel, and that doesn't have to be a dog kennel. It could be a kennel for a dog or a kennel for a cat. And by making a donation, you will have a kennel named. It could be named for you in honor of your pet, in honor or memory of a friend. And that money will go to help care for the animals in the shelter every day. And it's kind of neat because at the end of the year, when your sponsorship's up, you can take home that plaque, so you can kind of have it to show that you sponsored a kennel, or you could re-up your sponsorship, sponsor again, and continue helping the pets.
If you're interested in adopting a pet, you can visit the shelter 7 days a week. We're here from 1 to 5, Monday through Thursday. We're here till 6 on Friday, 10 to 5 on Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday.
Here are some interesting and entertaining oddities about horses. A young male horse 4 years old or younger is called a colt, while a young female horse 4 years old or younger is called a filly. On average, a horse's heart weighs approximately 9 or 10 pounds. The great New Zealand-Australian racehorse Farlap had a heart that weighed 14 pounds. It's estimated that the Great American Racehorse Secretariat had a heart that weighed 21 pounds. The tallest horse on record was named Samson. He was 7 feet 2 inches tall and was born in 1846 in Toddington Mills, England. The oldest horse on record is Old Billy, an English barge horse. He was 62 years old when he died, living from 1760 to 1822. The record for the highest jump made by a horse is held by a horse named Huaso, who jumped 8 feet 1 1/4 inches on February 5, 1949 in Vina del Mar, Chile. He was ridden by Captain Alberto Larragibel. A mule is a cross between a male donkey, called a jack, and a female horse, called a mare. Mules are usually not able to produce offspring. A hinny is a cross between a male horse, called a stallion, and a female donkey, called a jenny. Like mules, hinnies are usually unable to produce offspring. Horses have a prehensile upper lip. Prehensile means adapted for seizing, grasping, or taking hold of something. Their upper lips are very sensitive and capable of feeling the smallest of differences in objects. All horses, regardless of when they were actually born, are considered to have a common birthday of January 1st. This is one of the reasons most horsemen don't like their foals to be born late in the year. Even if a foal is born on December 31st, he or she will have their first birthday the very next day. The average horse weighs about 1/2 ton. Its brain is the size of a baked potato. Most of the time, a horse's ear points where the horse is looking. Horses can lock the muscles in their legs so they can go to sleep standing up and not fall over. When spoken to, horses distinguish tones rather than particular words. A horse can see better at night than a human. However, it takes a horse's eyes longer to adjust from light to dark and from dark to light than a human's. A horse can see completely around its entire body except for small blind spots directly in front of its face, underneath its head, and directly behind itself. The smallest breeds of horses are the Falabellas of Argentina. The tallest breed is the Shire from England. The height of a horse is measured in hands. The measurement of a hand is 4 inches. That's because it was considered to be the width of an average man's hand across the knuckles. Upon occasion, a horse's shoes were put on backwards, the toe in front and the heel in back, to mislead a pursuing enemy. It was used in the 11th century by King Alfonso in his escape from Toledo, Spain. in 1303 by Robert the Bruce in his escape from King Edward, and in 1530 by Duke Christopher of Württemberg in his escape from Emperor Charles V. We hope you've enjoyed these interesting and entertaining oddities about horses.
Now we join Tony Allender as she visits with Jackie Renham about different volunteer opportunities around the area.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Tony Allender. I'm here with Jackie Renham, and we're going to talk today about volunteering. So, how are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Why don't you give us a little bit of background on you?
On me, well, I'm a Joplin native. I was born here and have lived here my entire life except for about 8 years. I moved away for a short time. And I worked in banking for about 25 years, retired in 2000 from what is now U.S. Bank.
Oh.
I worked in the trust department and the accounting department.
Wow, very good. And how did you get into volunteering?
Well, when I retired, I'm kind of a creature of habit, and I like to have things to take my time, and I thought, well, volunteering would be a good way to be of service to other people and to keep me out of trouble, to give me something to do, because I'm not one to just sit around and do nothing. I have to be busy, so I wanted to help the community and other people.
Very good. And who do you volunteer for?
I volunteer for Crosslines, Meals on Wheels, and the Joplin School District Trip Program.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about each one of those?
I volunteered for the longest. I've been there probably about 12 years. So I serve on the board. I have been past president of the board. Crosslines is sponsored by 61, I believe it's 61 area churches. That's where we get our funding and our donations. We also apply for grants. We have a food pantry, clothing department, and we serve. It varies. After the tornado, it really escalated on the number of people that we served. Approximately 40 people a day, I would think, in the food and clothing pantry. They can shop for clothing once a month. They can get commodities, government commodities, once a month, and they can get pantry food, which is just food that we get. We get donations from the community, Walmart, the Ozark Food Pantry, and that sort of thing. And they can get that food 4 times a year if they qualify financially, and then anybody who has an emergency situation can come. We also help with rent assistance and utilities.
Wow. So they're kind of, you have people that come each time, or is it kind of an emergency? So it's not just emergency based?
For emergency purposes, but it's usually people are referred by economic security.
Okay.
They have to meet financial guidelines, and they're usually people who come every month.
Wow. 40 a day.
And it has been worse.
I start saying, does it rise during the holidays, or?
Well, yes, usually, yeah. And then, of course, I said after the tornado, it really increased. So it's a very good organization. We also have a charity tracker, so that we can monitor how many other places the clients are using, and we specify that they only choose one organization.
Very good. And what about Meals on Wheels? I know a little bit about that one.
The Area Agency on Aging, that's difficult to say. And it provides meals to senior homebound people who are homebound. Or I think you can have a disability as well. But if they are able to pay, they do so. I'm not sure of the cost, because I just deliver the meals, but it's very minimal. I think it's something like $3 a day.
Oh, wow.
And so it provides meals.
And is it just one meal a day, or is it multiples?
it's one meal a day, but it's usually a large meal, so
Okay.
that you could get probably two.
Lunch and
out of it
dinner,
if
maybe?
Yes.
Okay. And I know you said that you're always needing volunteers for Meals on Wheels.
Yes, Meals on Wheels right now is in a crisis as far as volunteers are concerned, and they do need people. And if anybody is able to do that, just contact the senior center.
Okay. Or the area agency on aging.
Yeah, see, it's hard to say.
It's a tongue twister.
The lady at the senior citizen center is her name is Dana.
Okay.
She's the coordinator, and she would be thrilled to get new volunteers.
Okay. Well, we will definitely get that information out there. And can you tell us a little bit about Trek? This
Trek
is
through the Joplin R8 school district, and it is directed toward children who need more of a one-on-one setting that might, they don't get enough one-on-one attention in the classroom. So
Right.
this is an after-school program for children who need that one-on-one help. And I just basically go and I've had the same little boy for the last 3 years. I've done this about 4 years, and help him with his reading and his comprehension, and then we're just supposed to kind of mentor them too, because some of them don't have real good home lives, and so they just need to talk and be listened to sometimes too. So
you do a wide array, the very young and the up to the older. So, well, I greatly appreciate you talking to us, and we greatly appreciate you volunteering.
well, like I said, it keeps me out of trouble.
Thank you, Tony and Jackie. That will do it for today's Community Highlights. We hope this has inspired you to go out and do a little more for your community.